So let's talk about list building and AI prompting. And I promise you, you're going to take away a lot, but I'm also going to promise you that I am going to go really fast because I've got 20 minutes and we're going to truck through this. So I know that this is being recorded, and just talk to Gerhard about how to get access to it. All right, so let's go. I'm Bryn Tillman. Pleasure to meet you. I'm going to start with resources. Take a screenshot of this, take a phone shot. This socialsaleslink.com slash sales 30 summit. When you click on that or you put that in, it is going to take you to the resources. This is today's deck. This is a prompt we're going to talk about that was too big to put in today's deck. And so you want to make sure, because I know you're going to be asking for that. Okay. So we're talking about list building on LinkedIn and how do we go after them? We're going to start with our first degree connections. Who have we been ignoring? This is something that 100% of us are doing. I promise. You connect and forget. If you have 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 connections, chances are you haven't looked at them in a really long time. People have moved jobs. There are people you connected with purpose and you've forgotten about. So we want to take inventory. Take a screenshot of this. It's also in the deck, in the resources, but we want to export our connections and we want to make sure that these are our first degree connections. That means that you've both agreed to connect with one another, and we want to bring that into an Excel spreadsheet. That's going to give you first name, last name, email address, company, position, and the date you connected. Now, I realize I have not updated this fabulous screenshot since 2021, apparently, because there is a new column, which is a link to their LinkedIn URL. So when you look at this, you can click and go right back into their profile. We want to take inventory. Who on here are clients, prospects, and referral partners? We call it conducting CPR because we are breathing life back into our network. We want to see who it is that we want to engage. We can also search our connections by title, keywords, location, industry, company, and more. So let's jump into this. We are going to go out and we are going to do a first degree company search. People don't realize that in the free LinkedIn, this is available. So if we jump into LinkedIn, and by the way, you can do this on your phone as well, and you click in the search bar and hit enter, you get into this amazing world of LinkedIn search. And we're going to click on all filters. Now, right now, I want to do a first degree search. I want to look at who am I connected to? Oh, no, I don't, because this is a company search. That's our next search. I jumped ahead. I want to choose on people and I want to choose companies. So let's say I want North America, although I'm global. Or I could go as tight as New Jersey, or I can pick my and maybe my little town of Bluebell, Pennsylvania, right? So I can really build out these locations. I'm going to just say North America for now. And I'm going to scroll down and I can choose company size. So maybe my perfect ideal company is in this range. And I can pick industry. Maybe I want professional services or financial services or technology, or maybe I want to go in here and I want retail. All right, I can go ahead and do that. And you can pick as many industries as you serve. And then I'm going to hit, so you're going to see first degree connection in a moment, but I hit show results and there are 524,000 companies that meet that criteria. When I come back in here and I hit first degrees, I now get to see 210 of those companies I already have a connection in. This is a powerful way to leverage LinkedIn. Now I have 2 connections that work here, 5 connections that work here. I have some alumni that, and if I click through, I'll see my connections, 11 that work here. So I now can go to my existing connections, even if they're not the decision maker, I can leverage that relationship in order to gain access to the right people. So Now we want to do our next search, and then we're going to start to get into a little bit of AI. Our next search is what I went to before, is I want to do my first degree search. So these are the steps I'm going to go to in a moment, but here is the prompt. I want to build a highly targeted LinkedIn search using Boolean logic for LinkedIn search, okay, to find the right prospects based on these two questions. So I'm going to actually copy this, and I have my own platform called Ask SSL, but because every one of you is probably on a ChatGPT, I'm going to go ahead and put this right into ChatGPT. I would clean up, you don't need to say LinkedIn search twice. And it's going to ask me, what are your prospects' roles and seniority? So I'm going to put in sales, marketing, and then I want VP, director, and let's say CRO or CMO. And I hit, and so now it's going to give me a Boolean search that I can now use in my search. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's giving me 7. I've asked it to give me 5. It should have been in here. Maybe it's not. It did not. So I'm going to put in, I'm going to use 5 of these. 7 might break the search, but let's try it. So we're going to start over again. We're going to go search, enter, all filters. I'm going to do, right now, I could do my first degree connections if I want to. I'll just do the United States because it's easy. I could go through, pull in industries, lots of things, and now I want to go down to my title. Now, typically, I want to do 5 of, and this is giving me 7. Let's see if it works, because 5 is often the magic number. Oh, 7 worked. Okay. If it doesn't, we may want to just reduce those. So I have 791 people in the United States that meet that criteria. Boolean search is a hard thing to build for LinkedIn, and you now have a prompt to do that. So keep that in mind. All right, let's go back into presenter mode. And our next search. Well, before we go into search, we want to quickly just talk about how to personalize this when you do reach out. If you notice, if you click on contact information, you can see when you connected with someone, you can look at your messaging, and ultimately it allows you to warm up that conversation, right? So I'm not sure if you recall, but we connected at Sales 2.0. Oh my gosh, Gerhard, this was a long time ago. Now it's 3.0 in San Francisco, July 2016. So I know this because I put in a message, right? And so this is where I'm going to go back. All right, next one, and I'm going trucking through this really, really fast. My next one is lead a search by second degree connection. So I'm going to come back to that search, hit all filters, and instead of first degrees, I'm going to do second degrees. Now I'm going to get a great list, 29,000 people that meet that same criteria, where I have at least one shared connection. In this case, I have 3, 4, 5. And actually, Nick is a really good friend of my daughters from high school. They're in their 30s now, but that's kind of cool. That's where I'm connected here. I know Jim, I know Jill. So these are my shared connections that can get me to my ideal prospect. So, whoops, if I come back into, now I want to write a message. So I'm going to go quickly through these messages. You have access to them. But the goal is for you, wait, did I have the prompt? Let's see. My goal is, oh, we did the prompt for client connections. So let's go and do client connections now. So we had this big list of all these second degree connections. I'm going to come back to this and I'm going to look, let's go Jim Dickey. So Jim is connected to Jim. How about that? But before I reach out to Jim, let's say he's my client, I am going to look at who all the people he knows. I know he knows at least one person I want to meet. Who else does he know? So I'm going to come down to my connections. Let me see here. connections of, and I'm going to put in Jim Dickey. So now I know he knows Jim Brodo, but who else does he know? Because I may come in and I might look, and he knows 58 people. So I can take a look through here, and there's lots of different things that I could do to ask, including you're connected to many people. But I've got a really good here. This is the prompt. I want to personalize a LinkedIn outreach sequence. Please provide the following details. So if you come to here, this is also, here's your prompt. You can download this, and this is a fun one that I just wrote. So I have it here. I'm going to highlight and copy. I'm going to come back in here. Let's start a new chat and paste this. It is now going to ask me questions, right? So it wants to know, now you'll see what I get, your contact's name. So let's say Gerhard. And who do I want to meet? Joe Sabatino. I'm very bad at spelling. Sabatino. And the company is Joe Rocks. And my calendar link. Okay. So we could just put that in. So now I have my first message. I now have a sequence. Gerhard, notice you're connected to Joe Sabatino and Joe Rocks. I'll be reaching out to Joe in the next in the next week, but I was wondering how well you know them. So the whole point of this is if you've got your sequences or your cadences, you can put it in to a prompt that all you have to do is tell it the information that you want it to use. Now, right? So this is, here's all the fill in the blanks. So I copied and pasted it, and then I answered the questions and it fills in the blanks. So while you are welcome to use this exactly, this is more of a really good way for you to store your prompts. Now, if you are using, you can use these as GPTs if you're using ChatGPT, where you just click a button and it comes out. You could use getmagical.com to store these. But ultimately, once you have it, it's going to make your LinkedIn outreach that much simpler. So I'm just going to quickly go through you can go through, because just for the sake of time, you have this deck. And I know that I'm about 3 minutes over here, so I apologize for that. But I am Bryn. All your resources, if we go to, I'm going to actually go back to the beginning and have that link up there, because all of these resources and more are available. Oh, I love the backwards motion. Here we go. At socialsaleslink.com/sales30summit. socialsaleslink.com/30summit. So Joe and Gerhard, I'm sorry I'm over my time by a few minutes here, but I hope in my very short time that I brought some value.
Bryn, fantastic. Every time I listen to you, I learn, most people say, I learned something. I don't learn something. I learn many things. Oh my gosh. And I'm listening to you and just how you utilize LinkedIn. I'm saying to myself, oh my gosh, I have to do this, and this. Oh my God. So tremendous, tremendous.
Good. And I know that we went a little bit over, so we're trying to make up some time here.
No sweat. No, we got a couple minutes here. I have a question from the audience that I want to throw at you.
I love it.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. What additional value do you believe Sales Navigator core offers for prospecting?
Okay. So first I will tell you, there's a ton in the free. There is no question there's a ton in the free. Sales Navigator is, I believe, Sales Navigator and AI together is the most incredible prospecting available. Here's why. Like, you could get Zoom info and it's going to give you all kinds of information, and that's great. I'm not in no way. I mean, Zoom Info is well worth the investment. But there
Right.
are a lot of all these other tools, but what none of those tools have are pathways to your buyers. None of them can map out your social proximity to the people you want to have conversations with. So, right. So I had, I don't know how many first degree connections, but I had tens of thousands of second degree connections.
Right.
That means I have pathways to my buyers through people I'm already connected to.
Right.
And
Right.
you now have the cadence of conversation and messaging to get there, right? So all the tools are there, and there's also, hey, book a call with me. I'm happy to customize a prompt for you. But the Sales Navigator is, I think, so incredibly powerful. You have your social proximity. You also have, you can get alerted when people change jobs, even if you're not connected to them. You can get alerted. You can search people based on activity in the last 30 days. You can search people based on how long they've been at a company or in a role. So the filters are outstanding. So, yes, awesome.
Wow. So just so we get this in, if people want to contact you, how do they get a hold of the famous Brent Tillman? What does that look like?
It's more like infamous. No. Um, so I'm still the only Bryn Tillman on LinkedIn.
Okay,
Here.
love it.
But also, if you go to socialsaleslink.com/sales30 summit, there is
Mhm.
a link to schedule 15 minutes with me, and I will build you a custom prompt.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And for all of those that are listening, I'm going to take my glasses off for this because I'm getting serious. Okay.
Joe is serious.
It's serious. That's hard to believe, but no, Bryn is one of those people for everyone out there that when you engage with her, oh my gosh, Bryn will go above and beyond anything you've expected. So, talk about, getting a bang for your buck or whatever. You've just, every time I've spoken to you, it's been mind blown with all the information. So everyone contact Bryn. She will help you beyond what you ever think. So that's my endorsement for you.
I appreciate that, and it's my favorite thing to do. So
I know that.
You love what you're doing. And Susan Younger says, thanks, Brian. That was awesome. Daipan Das says, what's the best way to connect after identification?
well, so I'm not sure what identification means, because it could mean you were pulled over and you had to give a cop your ID. And that's a very different reaction than if it's after. What's the best way to connect? I know. I'm sorry, Joe, you bring it out in me.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I love it. So, I'm going to say it depends on why you connected, right? So if someone connects with you without a note and you go, oh, it's someone I want to connect with, the response should be something like, thank you so much for your connection. I had a chance to look at your profile. I really like that you're in this industry. May I ask what inspired you to connect, or how did you find me? It's a great way. Now, if you connect with them, I hope you had purpose and context. Because if you're connecting cold, you're lost, right? Right. And so that is why we get stuck at how do we respond after connection? But what if you engaged with them first on their content, went out and found another piece of content on the same topic, and now, thanks for connecting. I found you because of the content you shared. I recently heard a podcast on the same topic. If you're interested, let me know. I'm happy to send a link. So here's the thing. The way you engage with someone on LinkedIn should be very similar to the way you engage in person. You want to treat the person on the other side of the message the same way you would if they were on the other side of the table. Do not treat them like a lead, treat them like a human. Bring value and earn the right to get the conversation.
I want to make another observation. Joe, I think you can relate to this, and we have spoken about this before. But Dr. Peterson just mentioned, you can feel Brent's energy from here, and he's in Illinois.
I love Chicago, so there you go.
Somebody once said that selling is a transfer of energy, and action is all about emotions, transferring energy onto the big screen. But Zig Ziglar once said that logic makes people think, but emotions make people buy. And the reason people buy you, Bryn, is because you have a lot of logic about LinkedIn, but you have also a lot of love about teaching.
Yes.
I do. Thank you. It is, I would do this for free if I could feed my kids.
Grandchildren.
My grandbabies. My lovely, wonderful grandbabies.
Right.
Well,
Well,
you're absolutely fantastic. You put such a smile on my face. You're amazing.
Give your wife a big hug from me.
Will do. And she sends a big hug to you.
okay,
Awesome.
John is asking final question.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about audio or video messages on LinkedIn Messenger?
Love video messages, hands down. And if you want to learn how to give good video message, go talk to Joe. But video messages connect you human to human. And we have found there's over a 90% response rate with a video message. You can only send them to your first degree connections. But I'm going to go back and answer the question that was asked better now. How do you respond to a new connection? With a video message.
Right. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.